German Chancellor Angela Merkel has been criticized for failing to intervene personally in ongoing Brexit trade talks, bringing them to the brink of failure. On Thursday, Boris Johnson warned there is a strong possibility the UK will fail to agree a new trade deal with the EU. It followed an inconclusive meeting between the Prime Minister and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Wednesday. However, writing in the German Spiegel magazine, reporter Michael Saga called on Ms. Merkel to step in. The journalist argued EU leaders had been mistaken in attempting to reverse the Brexit referendum result when it was clear this wouldn't succeed, and suggested the German Chancellor holds some responsibility for the talks' success. He said, British Prime Minister Johnson has once again driven talks with the EU to the brink of failure, at least that's what the Germans believe. Why is nobody talking about the role of the Chancellor? Britain and the EU have an obligation to work together. They share the same values and the same understanding of the rule of law and democracy. It would be a first-order policy failure if both sides could not even come to an agreement on a rudimentary trade deal. Whilst the UK formally left the EU at the end of January, it remains in a Brexit transition period until the end of the year. During this time, Britain remains part of the European single market but still has to pay into the EU budget and implement many rules made in Brussels. The government is currently attempting to negotiate with the EU to come up with a fresh trade agreement for when this expires. However, talks have become deadlocked over European access to British fishing waters, to what extent the UK can deviate from the EU's regulatory level playing field, and how any deal should be regulated. If no agreement is reached, the UK and EU will trade from January 1 on World Trade Organization terms, meaning significant tariffs and many products. Mr. Saga argued, not letting things get that far is not only a task for Boris Johnson and Ursula von der Leyen, but for all EU heads of government. But especially for the German Chancellor, who stands for the largest economy on the continent and for the cohesion of the EU. It is high time she took over the Brexit talks. Currently around 2/3 of the fish caught in British territorial waters are taken by European boats.